Now live.
Great. Well, good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, February 13th, and this is the weekly meeting of the Prince George's County Law Enforcement Subcommittee. Great to see everyone. We hope our viewers are all safe and warm. Um, so we have two bills to discuss and hopefully vote out of this subcommittee today. And we do have multiple amendments on both bills. So let's just go ahead and get started. First, we have PG 30125. That is House Bill 408, Prince George's County Coordinated Youth Violence Review and Response Team. Mr. Jelani, will you read us a brief summary of this legislation?
Sure. The bill establishes Prince George's County Coordinated Youth Violence Review and Response Team to examine and prevent violence against youth through intensive case management. The bill also establishes provisions governing review and response team membership, access to and disclosure of specified information in meetings.
Great. And we do have a number of amendments. Before Mr. Jelani discusses the amendments, Delegate Ivy, would you like to say a few words about the status of this bill that is before us? We approved two amendments last week. Would you like to say anything further about your work with the county coordinating this legislation?
Well, first of all, thank you, Madam Chair, and I want to thank the committee. I know that we've been speaking about this bill for quite some time now, but wanted to make sure that it was ready, that it was right before we moved it forward. I want to thank members of the county executive staff, and again, thank you all for having discussions with me, making sure again that this is ready for prime time and that it's achieving the goal that we're seeking to achieve. I believe that this is ready now after the multiple rounds of amendments as you alluded to. And again, I just appreciate everyone for their patience. And thank you again. And but I'm asking for a favorable report.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been a work in progress, but it's fine. We have Mr. Jelani, how many more amendments are we considering today? Would you just like to start with the first one?
Sure. Would you like me to just go ahead and read both of the amendments to this bill?
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you do that?
Great. So the First Amendment, in the bill on page 10 of line 9, we strike 2026 and substitute 2027. And that's referring to the date that a report shall be due. And the Second Amendment, on page 4 on line 21, we strike and in line 23 after designee, we insert two representatives of nonprofit organizations appointed by the county executive and those two extra members. That's just two extra members that are going to be added to the committee. That's it.
Yep.
Okay, we adopted those amendments last week unanimously.
Yep.
Did we have additional amendments from the county exec? We do not. Oh, I thought we
Yeah.
had additional amendments. Okay.
No, Madam Chair, just to explain that, I wanted to make sure that all of the questions were answered. And
Okay.
so that's why I asked for one more week, just so
Okay.
when it gets to full delegation, all the questions have been discussed, so on and so forth, and we can just be in a united front.
Excellent. Well, with that, I was under the impression we were waiting for maybe one or two more changes from the county execs people. So if not, are there any questions on PG 30125 House Bill 408 before I entertain a motion? Any questions, comments? All hearts and minds clear? Okay, well, I will entertain a motion to move PG 301 25, House Bill 408, favorable with amendments.
Madam Chair, as I do so often, I'd like to move favorable.
Well, thank you, Delegate
Second.
Ivy.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion favorable and a second. I believe that came from Delegate Vice Chair Woods.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Mr. Jelani, if you want to call the roll.
Sure. Delegate Alston. Delegate Ivy.
Yes.
Delegate Martinez. Delegate Martinez.
He may be going back and forth between the Latino caucus and this meeting, but go ahead. We'll have to come back to him.
Delegate Tolles. Delegate Woods.
Yes.
And Chair Lehman.
I vote yes. believe we need Delegate Martinez to vote this bill out. We need
Let
4
me double
votes.
check the rules.
Aye.
There we
There.
go.
All right, the ayes have it. There we go.
Great. So the bill passes 4-0 as amended. Excellent. Congratulations, Delegate Ivy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate it.
Great job. Okay, so now we will turn to the second bill on our agenda, PG 30825. And that is House Bill 371, Speed Monitoring Systems for Maryland Route 5. I see we have Delegate Long here. Again, Mr. Jelani, could you give us just a brief summary of this bill? And then we have amendments to discuss.
Yes. So this bill authorizes the placement and use of speed monitoring systems on Maryland Route 5 in Prince George's County.
Okay, and Delegate Tolles, are you with us? Did you get in? I just saw a note that she was in the waiting room. Okay, I guess she's in. It looks like she's
Yeah,
here.
I just got in. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being with us. So we are discussing the second bill that we have on the agenda, and that is speed monitoring systems on Maryland Route 5. Delegate Long has been busy working on amendments, and he coordinated that with Mr. Jelani last week. So before I turn to Mr. Jelani to read those amendments, Delegate Long, would you like to bring us up to speed, no pun intended, on your bill? It's been a work in progress, and I know you've been coordinating with the county police and state highway administration since this is a state road. What do you want to tell us before we discuss the amendments?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, I'm losing my voice a little bit, so if I sound a bit raspy, forgive me. Yes, so we've been working aggressively to get this bill in good shape. We had amendments drafted, which would limit the amount of speed cameras on Route 5, just up to 3. So a limiting number, as well as bringing it into alignment with general policy that we have as relates to speed cameras and where the revenue goes to as well. And again, as I looked up to the committee before, the amount of accidents and the fatality that we had on Route 5, and that actually data shows that the amount of accidents on Route 5 actually rivaled that of 210 as well too. So again, the community is very happy and excited that you all are taking this to heart and working to keep those residents safe in D27B and surrounding communities. So thank you so much.
Excellent. And you've worked hard at this, which we appreciate, coordinated with your colleagues, because the 15 miles or so of Route 5 do pass through a couple of districts. And just to be clear for our listening audience, these cameras, that we are not prescribing exactly where they go, but they would be on the 15 or so mile stretch of Maryland Route 5 in Prince George's County. So with that, Mr. Jelani, we have, do you want to start with the First Amendment and describe it for us? And we will have to vote each amendment before we can vote the amended bill.
Sure. So on my end, I have only one amendment. And
Okay.
the first thing that amendment does is strike the language that allocates the fines from this bill to the comptroller for distribution to the State Highway Administration to be used in consultation with Prince George's County solely for state and local highway and pedestrian safety improvements on in the vicinity of Maryland Route 5 in Prince George's County. And the second thing that this amendment does is limits the cameras to a 15.2 continuous mile segment on Maryland Route 5. And in addition, the amendments specify that not more than 3 speed monitoring systems may be placed within that 15.2 continuous mile segment on Maryland Route 5 in Prince George's County.
So it doesn't say exactly 3, it says up to 3, and it does not specify the locations, of course. That is the, I guess, discretion of police working with State Highway. Okay. Any discussion, any questions about that amendment to this bill? Delegate Long, I just have one question, which is just out of curiosity. 3 cameras to me seems very reasonable in a 15-mile stretch. How did you arrive at the number 3, and did police seem comfortable with that number?
Yes. So in my conversations with the stakeholders that I spoke with the PGCPD, specifically Division 5, they felt that would be a reasonable and feasible number so that it's more of a deterrent to behavior. And again, I didn't feel that we wanted to make it seem as if we are trying to go for this as a money grab, but that is really just a behavior adjustment to behavior rather. And in conversation, we felt that was just a reasonable number to make it not seem as if it was to oversaturate the area.
Right. That sounds reasonable to me. It makes sense. So with that, I will entertain a motion on this amendment. I will move the amendment favorably. I
Second.
need a second. Okay.
Second.
Thank you, Delegate Ivy. So we have a motion and a second on the amendment. Mr. Jelani, could you call the roll, please?
Sure. Delegate Alston, Delegate Ivy,
Yes.
Delegate Martinez, Delegate Martinez, Delegate Tolles,
Aye.
Delegate Woods,
Aye.
and Chair Lehman.
I vote aye.
All right, that's 4 ayes.
Okay, the amendment passes 4-0. And now I will, is there any further discussion about this bill? Any questions on PG 30825, House Bill 371? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to move it favorably with amendment.
Move favorable.
And I will second that.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Jelani, if you could call the roll, please.
Yes. Delegate Alston, Delegate Ivy,
Yes.
Delegate Martinez, Delegate Martinez, Delegate Tolles,
Yes.
Delegate Woods,
Aye.
and Chair Lehman.
The chair votes aye.
All right, the ayes have it.
Bill
4-0.
passes. Thank you. Unanimous. Delegate Long, good work. I will see you in the Environment and Transportation Committee with this bill when it gets scheduled. Well, it has to pass the full delegation, but you've done a good job of bringing people together on it. And I'm confident that will happen on Friday. And then the next step after that will be in our committee. So good work. Thank you for the effort. And
Thank you, Madam Chair, for all your support and assistance, and to all the colleagues. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
absolutely. All right. Well, colleagues, if you can believe, in I think week 6 of the 90-day session, we are through all of the bills that have been referred to this subcommittee. I believe I'm correct about that, Mr. Jelani. Am I not? Yes.
You're
Well, we'll have to have a little celebration. We do not, as of right now, on Wednesday, February 3rd. Is this the 13th? No.
The 12th.
It's the 12th. I've got the wrong date on my agenda. Okay. It is the 12th. I didn't think it was the 13th, but it is Wednesday. We do not have any further business for this committee unless something comes our way. So our work is complete as of right now for the 2025 legislative session. So I would not anticipate a law enforcement subcommittee meeting next week, but stay tuned just in case something pops up. But thank you for the effort. Thank you for being here consistently and on time so that we had a quorum. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, and I will second that. So the Law Enforcement Subcommittee is adjourned.